If you want respect, never do these 8 things in public. In a world where everyone speaks loudly, acts hastily, and is desperate for attention, a man who walks quietly with discipline and self-control stands out like a lion among sheep. You can't judge a man's level of wisdom by how he behaves in private, but by how he behaves in public. Because every gesture, every reaction, every word reveals the kind of person he truly is. Stoicism teaches us that how you behave in public isn't for others. It's a reflection of your inner order, your discipline, and your control. So today we're going to discuss 8 things you should never do in public if you want respect, according to Stoic philosophy and the eternal masculine wisdom. Let's begin. First, never lose your temper in public. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have control over your mind, not external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." Getting angry in public is the quickest way to show that you have no control over your emotions. Anger may make you feel powerful in the moment, but it betrays weakness. It shows that your inner world is easily attacked. A calm person never gives that power to anyone. When something goes wrong, they remain calm. When someone insults them, they remain composed. People respect a person who can remain calm even in the midst of chaos, because remaining silent in the face of provocation is the surest way to dominate. Second, never complain or seek sympathy. Seneca said, "The poor man is not the man who has too little, but the man who wants more." Complaining publicly shows neediness. It shows people that you are driven by your emotions, that you haven't learned to bear your burden silently. A quiet man doesn't beg for sympathy. He endures, he adapts, and he wins. His strength remains silent, unseen. The moment you complain, you exchange your strength for pity, and pity never earns respect. 3, never criticize or speak ill of others. Epictetus taught, when you are tempted to talk about someone's faults, turn to yourself and look at your own. A weak man speaks about others. A wise man speaks about ideas. When you gossip, you reveal your insecurity. It shows that you benefit from putting others down rather than elevating yourself. A Stoic understands that what you say about others reflects you, not them. Therefore, he practices discipline in his speech. He speaks only what is essential, only what is true, and only what is useful. People respect a person who speaks less and observes more. Because his silence appears powerful, it attracts attention. 4, never seek validation or show off. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste any more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be a good man." In a world obsessed with attention, a person who doesn't seek it becomes magnetic. When you boast, when you show off what you have or what you have done, you appear insecure. True confidence doesn't need to be announced. The Stoic knows that validation from others is temporary. He only seeks validation from his conscience, knowing that he lives by his principles, not for praise. You don't need to prove who you are. You simply quietly and consistently become who you are. 5, never mock or insult others. Weak people gain strength by putting others down. Wise people gain strength by mastering themselves. Mocking someone in public may make you appear bold, but it also makes you appear small. A quiet person has so much self-respect that he cannot insult others. He knows that insulting someone for fun only exposes his own insecurities. Respect never comes from dominance. It comes from control. So even when you could be joking, even when you could be destroying someone with your words, remain silent because silence shows maturity, and maturity commands respect. 6, never show excessive emotion or vulnerability. To be clear, emotions aren't weakness, but losing emotional control in public is. Crying, begging, pleading, or showing helplessness in front of others gives them access to your inner world, and not everyone deserves that access. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A man of calm feels deeply but expresses his emotions wisely. He reserves his emotions for moments of trust and solitude, not for crowds and strangers. For he who can control his emotions controls his thoughts, and thoughts are what make power. 7, never argue to prove your point. Arguing publicly rarely changes anyone's mind. It only shows ego. A man of calm knows that wisdom does not need to defend itself. When others shout, he listens. When others argue, he observes. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence." You don't need to win an argument. You have to win your peace. A person who can walk away from chaos, calm and unperturbed, has authority. This is the energy that people follow. 8. Never disgrace yourself with careless behavior. This is the foundation of all calm discipline. Self-respect. Never do things in public that damage your dignity. Getting drunk, acting foolish, seeking cheap attention, chasing validation. These actions may please the crowd, but they quietly tarnish your image. Seneca said, "Associate with people who will make you a better person," and that includes your own habits. Every time you move forward in the world, ask yourself, does this behavior reflect the person I am becoming? Because respect isn't demanded. It's maintained through self-discipline. Finally, being calm teaches a simple truth. A man who controls himself commands every room he enters. To be powerful, you don't need to dominate others. You simply need to control your impulses, your reactions, and your emotions. A calm person walks differently, quietly, with strength and peace. He doesn't seek attention. He commands respect through his presence. So remember, never lose control in public. Never beg for validation. And never let the world pull you out of your inner peace. Because true respect doesn't come from how loud you speak. It comes from how calm you remain when the world tries to shake you. This is true wisdom, where calm becomes strength, silence becomes power, and discipline becomes freedom.